This morning, there's new reporting. Two senior ICE officials were reassigned this week as the White House continues to put pressure on the agency to ramp up arrests of undocumented immigrants. That's according to two sources familiar with the move. President Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, also says he is not happy with the pace of the immigration crackdown so far. Listen to this.
I'm not satisfied. There's more criminal aliens that need to be arrested, hundreds of thousands. Sanctuary cities are putting roadblocks up. We got leaks. So we need to increase the arrests of illegal aliens, especially those with criminal convictions. So we're going to continue. So 3 times higher is good. The numbers are good. For me, not good enough. We got to get more.
Now, a coalition of cities led by San Francisco is suing the Trump administration, saying they are being unlawfully targeted as sanctuary cities. Joining us right now is David Chu, city attorney of San Francisco, who is helping to lead this lawsuit. Thank you so much for coming in. Tom Homan also said that sanctuary cities are going to see more agents and arrests in their communities. What's your response to that?
Well, unfortunately, this is not a surprise. Since his first term, Donald Trump has tried different ways to coerce cities to do the federal government's job in carrying out federal immigration enforcement. My city and others, we had to sue when Trump tried to withhold federal funding from sanctuary cities like ours, and we won. Federal district courts, appellate courts ruled in our favor, found conditions that the administration was placing on us unconstitutional, found that our local sanctuary policies complied with the law. And unfortunately, since Inauguration Day, they've just doubled down, as you've just heard. They're trying to commandeer our local law enforcement as ICE agents. They're threatening to investigate and prosecute public officials and go after sanctuary cities and states. This isn't an idle threat. Last week, they went after, with a lawsuit, Chicago and its law officials, making their prosecutions a reality.
And so you're, as I mentioned, you're leading this effort with several other cities and suing this Trump administration. What specifically, is there something specific that's triggering the lawsuit now? Is it the threat of enforcement coming in? Have you already seen special targeting of your jurisdiction?
It's certainly the threat. Last Wednesday, Trump's new attorney general sent out a memo with very explicit descriptions of what they're going to do with sanctuary jurisdictions. Last Thursday, they sued Chicago. And what we are trying to do is ensure that our sanctuary policies are actually about protecting public safety by building trust.
The Trump administration will say that you are getting in the way of the federal government's ability to do its job. How do you respond?
So let me just take a moment and explain what sanctuary policies are about. When communities trust law enforcement, victims and witnesses of crime come forward, arrests are made, criminals are taken off the streets. When the opposite happens, trust is eroded. People are fearful to report. We are all less safe. And this is why hundreds of cities and many states across our country have adopted sanctuary policies. This is why hundreds of police chiefs, law enforcement officials, I can say as a former criminal prosecutor, why we support this. Studies have consistently shown that immigrants commit less crimes, that sanctuary jurisdictions have seen no increase or lower crime rates. Now, unfortunately, the Trump administration has spread lies about the suggestion that our cities are harboring criminals. That is false. The federal government knows the inmates, every inmate in our jails. We send them fingerprints. If they have legal reason to arrest, they can simply send a criminal warrant or a court order. But the purpose of our laws is not to interfere with lawful federal immigration enforcement. But immigration enforcement is the responsibility of the federal government, not state or local governments. We need to prioritize scarce law enforcement resources at the local level to actually fight crimes. That's what sanctuary policies are about.
David Chu, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate your time. Let's see where this lawsuit goes. Sarah.
All right.